Hello friends, I have been working on taking a step back and looking at overall the big picture of what I am working on and why. This is important because you got to know the purpose behind what you're doing. When I was running a co-working space, that was super clear. And in recent years, I've been more focused on just helping people any way that I can, but it's not been so much of a direct mission-oriented thing. So I'm working more on focusing on that. So let's have a look at what I've got so far. All right, so first off, overall ambition and mission, cultivating belonging. That is really what everything that I work towards comes back to. And it's just so important, especially with this epidemic of isolation that's happening, that if we can help people to find the belonging or to create the belonging that they need, a lot of the world's biggest problems sort of start to go away. And I've got kind of 3 columns of things that I think kind of feed to this. So what I'm used to, if we start from right to left, is actually, starting with the physical spaces. That's kind of where co-working has come in, finding these physical places for people to gather to find this belonging. And then the middle one, lots of meaningful gatherings. That's kind of what I've been playing with more this year with Gathering Summit and Gathering Lab, where I've been looking at all the different ways people gather and how we might be able to inspire more of it. And then I added this third piece because I feel like there was kind of a missing piece if I just were focusing on the second and third thing here. And that this one all the way on the left is essentially, it's an education thing. Right, so what we really want is for people to learn a bunch about what's possible as far as their own agency and how they can cultivate belonging and basic understanding of themselves, to gather and then to have places where they can go to find people. And so if we have these 3 ingredients, I think that's gonna take us really far in terms of doing a lot of good in the world. So then that's gonna kind of step us out to what I physically can do. And for that, I want to start with kind of the right side, which I've already been spending most of my time with, which is the physical spaces. I'm calling them gathering spaces. That's, the co-working spaces that I've been working with are these gathering spaces. So if we look here, first of all, we can make a more decisive sense of this mission, right? To say that you're not just here to build some kind of a workspace or something, you're here to do something important. And if you agree with me that you are here to do something more meaningful than just build a workspace, then maybe you take some kind of a pledge and then you get access to some kind of free resources and videos. And then there's some materials that I can create. I want to be able to create a course specifically for launching a space with this in mind, and for gaining members for your space, again, with this kind of approach in mind, and some of the pieces to that. Maybe some other courses or mini courses or pieces I can do. I already sell this stuff. I already sell this. I already kind of sell this. So this is kind of where my existing business lives. But it right now is in more of a territory of just general purpose co-working. And what I want is for it to be more explicitly tied to this kind of larger mission. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to take this and I'm going to slowly evolve it over time to be more on this trajectory towards gathering places and more meaningful spaces. So that's kind of this wing of it. And I realize this is a bit complicated, but I just need to be able to kind of make sense of some of the work I've already been doing and see how best I can kind of better orient what I've been doing so that I know how it fits into the bigger puzzle. So then with gatherings, we've got this desire to get more meaningful gatherings going on. And I see 2 major ways that we can do that. One is by helping people to become aware of, and maybe by creating more resources for open source, DIY, light and easy programs that people can do. Something like Jelly, which was the thing that kind of helped to spread co-working, super easy, anyone can do it, anyone could download the info on how to start one, and it helped to grow a movement. There's a lot more things like that I can help spread the word about and help people get materials to get started. And then CBO is my abbreviation for chapter-based organization. And that's a more sophisticated take on this kind of eminently spreadable idea. So chapter-based organization is like creative mornings or even like CrossFit is kind of, it's a franchise, right, that has different chapters. Or something like TEDx, where there's a way that people can apply to become leaders in their region, and there's materials, and maybe money changes hands, maybe it's an actual sustainable business. And so I have a couple of existing materials that I've created, and through Gathering Summit, we've interviewed a bunch of people who are running chapter-based organizations. So I want to revisit that material and see if there's ways that we can point people to programs that they can join already. So that is kind of a way of looking at some of the content I want to be able to create, and how I can take what we've done with Gathering Summit and continue to kind of make it useful and meaningful within this larger framework. So we've got New Work Cities kind of stuff here, Gathering Summit kind of stuff here, where it all lives under the umbrella, TBD, but I'm thinking that this overall umbrella may live within a reimagined New Work Cities brand, that instead of New Work Cities just being about this, it's about, and in like new ways that people work in the city, it's more about new ways to make cities work through belonging. So then the last thing is, again, kind of a content direction where some basic topics that I think, if I have some materials, can point people to some materials around simply knowing that they have agency, knowing some basic healthy habits that they can always come back to and implement, communication skills, emotional awareness, body awareness, that these are things, if I can help organizers of these gatherings and hosts of these spaces to be aware of these materials, these concepts, then they're going to be more likely to be more effective organizers and to be organizing things that are just going to be more valuable and useful. So this is kind of the overall structure of what I'm looking at right now as far as my business and where I'm going with it, my various businesses, and I'm going to keep refining it, but I thought I would share with you kind of where I'm at so far. What do you think?